Okay.
Okay, go. Okay, go ahead.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, that's much better. It's super distracting. Everybody, it's like the weirdest thing ever because like everybody thinks they're being quiet, but this thing picks up background noise like crazy. And it's so distracting for me. I'm sure it is for everyone. So awesome. Very, very cool. So yeah, I'm thrilled to death to be on this call with Dawn. She kind of shared a little bit about how we met. You know, I mean, I think that our situation is a really, really great example of why posting consistently is important and why having a spouse being on board is important too. You know, I think Andrew posted and Dawn saw it and messaged him, and then my husband actually connected us, and she was quite successful on my team actually before I had ever met her in real life, which is kind of a cool thing. I mean, we got to be really good friends on Facebook and talking on the phone, and me kind of helping her long distance before I ever got to go to Virginia and actually meet her. So very cool. Before I get started, I want you guys to know what an amazing asset you have in her, what a great leader she is, and just how blessed you are to have a leader that leads well, and a leader that wants to create more leaders, and a leader that's passionate about Plexus and passionate about helping you guys succeed. So that's an absolute blessing, because you know what? Not everybody has that. I promise you, I get messages every day from people who would just die to have an upline that cares about their success and is hosting events like this and has a thriving team page like you guys have. It's a huge tool and a huge blessing. So make sure you give Donna a pat on the back next time you see her, and just tell her that you're thankful for her, because it's a big deal. So she did not pay me to say that, I promise. As far as y'all know. She's awesome. So, you know, I know she mentioned there's going to be a lot of newbies on this call, so we're going to keep it pretty short and sweet, but I do want to maybe tell like the short version of my story, and then after that kind of hop into a few tips, and then kind of just a little bit about why I'm excited about the future. My story started with pure vanity. For those of you that don't know, I'm vain. I mean, you probably already all figured that out by my Facebook, but you know what? This started with, I want to be thin. I had gained weight through the course of, you know, being pregnant twice, got on Facebook, and really was just looking through Facebook, saw Jen Hawkins, one of my best friends from college, post a picture with her baby, and she looked amazing. So pretty much I called her up and I said, all right, here's the deal. You have an 8-month-old. I have a 12-year-old. I guess it's time for me to lose my baby weight. You already did it, and here I am with a 12-year-old, and I guess it's time for me to do it too. And she laughed, of course. She's got the best laugh on the planet. If you know Jen Hawkins, it's one of the reasons we're best friends, is because she laughs at all my jokes like I'm the funniest person she knows. But she looked amazing. She told me about Plexus. I told her, not interested in working the business. Thanks, but no thanks. I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I told her, I literally said, I'm not looking for a job. I said, Jen, listen, I love you, but I'm not even looking for a hobby. So how do I order the products? I trust you that this is how you lost the weight, but you know, I don't want anything to do with the business. She gave me her website. I ordered the product, had great success quickly with weight loss. I told you that was my goal at that point. Really, I mean, I didn't even know. Jen was so new. We didn't even know about all the amazing health benefits at that point. But when you start losing weight, my kids go to a small Christian school here in McKinney, Texas. People start asking what you're doing. You know, it's one of those, okay, she looks good. I want what she has. What are you doing? People would ask me, and I would send them to Jen Hawkins' website. I was a stay-at-home mama, and I wanted her to get to be a stay-at-home mama. I wanted to help her out. So basically, had great success with the product. Over the course of about 10 months, I had sent Jen Hawkins close to 35 customers. She finally convinced me, she came to visit me one time, that I was a complete moron for not, you know, joining her team at least to get my product wholesale. Don't judge her. Best friends can say stuff like that. And I said, okay, man, what do I do? I'll do this. I'm not working this business. I'll sign up to get my product wholesale. Well, Jen knows I love to travel, so she reeled me in with this trip to Maui that you guys probably have all heard about when you get to Emerald, which is our first jewel level for you new folks. You get a trip to Maui and a new Lexus. So I immediately, that became my why at that point, was, man, if Jen Hawkins is going to Maui, I'm going to Maui too, right? Started working my business like it's a business. So hear me out on that. I worked my business like it was a business. I never joined Plexus thinking I'm going to win the lottery. This is going to be easy. I'm going to sign one or two people. I'm going to ride on their coattails. I'm a Christian, and then I believe that when God says in the Bible to do everything unto the Lord, that includes how we work. I don't want to take you guys to church, but that's my belief system. And, since I'm the guest on this call, I'm going to share it. And I know Dawn doesn't mind, but for me, that means doing everything unto the Lord. So I worked my business very, very hard, and I ended up going Emerald in 4.5 months, which is, I didn't know at the time was anything exceptional. I was just doing my thing and working hard, and it worked out for me. So I went Emerald in 4.5 months. I did get to go to Maui. At that point, you're kind of in the profit sharing pool, and the money is really good at that point. Dawn will be there in no time. She's well on her way with you guys' help, obviously, the help of her awesome team. And then I ended up going Diamond in 6 months, which is the top level like she told you about. I ran it on my 7th month, and I actually went Diamond in just under 2 years on my 2nd position. So I've been with the company now about 2.5 years. You guys, this is one of those things, I didn't want it. I didn't know I needed it, but it has changed my life. I love network marketing now. I love Plexus. I love that we're set apart in so many ways with our comp plan and the way that our business is run. And I just feel blessed. I would be remiss not to mention that I ended up losing a grand total of 35 pounds, gained insane energy to make me a better mom. I don't know about y'all, but I'd kind of convinced myself that moms that are busy, everyone crashes at 4 p.m. I'm just tired because I'm busy and this is normal. I mean, I know Dawn's over there with 5 kids probably rolling her eyes, and I'm saying that about having 2. But man, that was my reality. I thought it was normal to crawl up on a couch at 4 o'clock every day and pretend like I was helping my kids with their homework and fall asleep. I don't do that anymore. I'm a better mom. I've gotten off of antidepressants that I'd been on for about 18 years, anxiety medication. I'm full of joy. I've got a joy for life, and I would be remiss not to talk about that. The business aspect has been a game changer for my family, but the health aspect has too. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. Like that's a Cliff Notes version, but it's still exciting. It's been a wild ride, and one that I couldn't have imagined or dreamed up to be better if I tried. I mean, the relationships that I've made, the friendships that I've made, Dawn being at the top of that list, man, it's a blessing, y'all. I mean, the financial part is huge. The health part is huge, but the relationships, they top it all off. The relationships I have with these folks that I know I can depend on for prayer or guidance or a laugh or whatever. I mean, you can't wrap your brain around that until you're living it. And those of you they're kind of in with the Plexus culture, and, Dawn, you know what I'm talking about when you're going through your cancer treatment and you have people praying for you and strangers sending you stuff in the mail and messages out the wazoo. I mean, you can't wrap your brain around that, can you? Until you're living it. So anyways, that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I want to just kind of roll into what an amazing month we have. I mean, the November to Remember, I know a bunch of you guys earned that. Several of you got the biggie message, some of you yesterday. That is amazing. Our PV was at an all-time high for my whole team. We are at a close to 18 million, the best we've ever had. The best month I've ever had before this month was 14 million. So in the midst of the back office cray-cray, I think I'm going to bang my head up against the wall mess that we've had, wow, how amazing is it that we've still managed to grow. I actually talked to Alec Clark this morning. I'm not going to give you guys any numbers, but I will tell you that corporate, this is the biggest month Plexus has ever had, ever, in the history of the whole company. So things are definitely looking really good for the future with us. We've still got free shipping. I think we're going to continue to ride this special of free shipping. Make sure you're really pushing that with your peeps. Don't go, okay, we had this great special in November, but it's December now, and I'm just going to go to Christmas parties and eat sugar cookies and post on Facebook once a day and hope my business continues to grow, because it won't. Let me tell you, I talk a lot I'm sure, Dawn, you know, my bathtub analogy that I talk about. Let's really remember that this month. And, you know, if you don't know what that is, you know, I talk about how in network marketing, it's like, you know, we're constantly building. Sorry, I went dark. Hold on a second. Let me turn the light. It's my screen and it's making it where you guys can see me. You know, we've got this bathtub analogy where the water's running, but the drain is not in the bathtub. But the water's running really, really heavy and fast. So your bathtub still starts to fill up, right? So you can take a bath in a bathtub. If you've got good water pressure, and the bathtub will still fill up if you've got a tiny drain, right? But if you turn off that water, what happens? That drains your bathtub eventually. So in network marketing, we have to constantly be filling that tub. No matter what, you got to constantly be adding. And my goal is always to go silver every month. That should be your goal too. My goal is to do 5-3-1, you know, where I'm reaching out to 5 people every day. I'm following up with 3, and I'm training 1 every single day. That's how I keep my bathtub full. And I know some of you out there are going, okay, wait, well, I'm in a kitchen sink and you're in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. But listen, if I stop filling up my swimming pool will eventually dry up too. That's why my goal is to always do what I tell my team to do. You know, I'm still trying to add new, ambassadors every month. You should be doing the same thing through this November to remember. That was great. But through December, let's make December a December to remember as well, by continuing to fill up our bathtub, continuing to recruit, continuing to train, continuing to share your passion, continuing to plant seeds. You know, this is a great, great season for planting seeds, you guys. December, man, you're at parties, you're at your kids' school parties, you know, you're at Christmas parties for your husband's company, church shindigs, whatever you've got going on, you know, mommy groups. The holidays, it's the most social month of the year, December is. There's no better time of the year than to start planting seeds for the month of December. Farm, when you're out and about, wear your plexus swag. Wear a plexus necklace if you're going to a Christmas party. Be understated, where people will still ask you, so what is that? You know, people that don't know will still ask you, what is that you're doing? Plant seeds, but you know what? Make it sincere. We talk a lot about farming, not hunting. When you're at these parties, don't make plexus be the first thing out of your mouth. Get to know people and then share your passion for plexus through natural conversation. That goes really far with folks. You know, that's one of the things that really turned me off about network marketing, was because I'd come into contact with so many people that I'm like, this person is only talking to me because they want me to buy their mascara, or they want me to buy their candle, or, you know, whatever. Don't be that person. Be sincere. That's why we're successful in this business, because we're a group of people that we are sincere and we really care about people. So continue that through this holiday season and plant those seeds, you know. And then also, y'all, if you haven't been around for the end of December and beginning of January ever with Plexus, this will be my third, I guess, Christmas with Plexus. And listen, you guys, you got to really start honing in on the New Year's resolution crowd. You have to realize there are people literally, as we speak, making very bad decisions over the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday season. You know, they're eating things they know they shouldn't be doing. They're going to parties, and so they're not working out like they should be. They're doing family activities, so they're not making good decisions. They're eating at drive-thrus. They're partying it up. They're eating 3 sugar cookies instead of 1. You just got to realize, y'all, come New Year's Eve, people are going to start making New Year's resolutions. I talked about this on a video that I put in your page yesterday, but I'm sure not everybody watched it. So listen, hear me now. You have the ideal, perfect, best tool on the whole planet to help these people, the masses of the United States, achieve their New Year's resolution goals. Wrap your brain around that. I mean, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's weight loss, we have the answer. I'm not saying we might have the answer. I'm telling you 100% with authority, we have the answer. So be thinking about the perfect posts that you can start doing, especially after Christmas, between that last week, 25th, through the first week of New Year's. Be thinking about what you can post, and, be making good decisions yourself so that you're a product of the product. so that, when New Year's rolls around, you can talk about how it was easy for you to make good decisions through the holidays. Really, really, you don't even know. The best months I've had, the best PV I've ever had is end of December, beginning of January. So hone in on that, y'all. Listen, I'm excited for the future. We talked about some bumps in the road on the video yesterday with this new back office, but y'all, this new back office is going to take our business places we have never been. We had to have this to go the next level as a big company, as a billion-dollar company, which we will be within the next year. Obviously, with the month like we're having, we know that we're on our way to that. So much to be excited about. I love this team. I'm forever grateful to my husband for making that post that got Dawn on board. Dawn is my second strongest position on my new position. She's my second strongest leg. I only have one girl who's a jewel that's ahead of her, and I am so eternally grateful for both of them. And y'all, she's a great leader. I'm excited for what this team is going to bring us. I love my Virginia people. I know you guys are all over the place, but Virginia produced my husband, so I'm a little bit fond of that state. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And I just thank you for letting me be a part of your call tonight, Dawn. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I know that you're super busy. Celeste is in the middle of running back and forth. Her daughter is, she's in a play, right?
Yeah. I got 12 minutes.
So I know. I tell you what, you guys, it's so wonderful to have her here. And so I wondered if anybody has any questions, we can use the chat button because we do have her for just a few more minutes. Let's see. Do we have any more? Oh, yeah. We are. We're working on that. Celeste, you know about the Richmond venue, right? Yes.
Yeah, we're working on it. I talked to Dawn about it today, and I talked to Melissa Darby about it today, and I may or may not have talked to Alec Clark about it today when I had him on the phone. So I know they're working on it.
Awesome, because we have quite a few people that did not get registered. So I know that there's a good chunk. So that's awesome.
Okay, that was a good question. Somebody just said, how do you get your husband on board if he's not? So, instead of answering your question, why don't I just tell you like a kind of the brief story of how I got Andrew on board? Because first of all, when I first joined Plexus, I was a stay-at-home mom. And Andrew was kind of like, oh, this is so cute. Look at this little thing that you have, right? Like a little bit condescending, And I wanted to go to convention, which if you haven't been to convention, this is my plug. I don't have to tell you it's a plug because it changed my life. You'll see through the story. I told him I wanted to go, and he basically said, okay, so listen, why don't you just tell me that you want to go to New Orleans for your birthday? It's okay, because my birthday was during convention. Every year, my birthday or Andrew's birthday, one is during convention, because we're end of May, beginning of June. So he goes, why don't you just tell me, hey, Andrew, I want to go to New Orleans. I'm going to go hang out with my friends. He goes, it's cool, because listen, it's going to cost me more to send you to New Orleans than you will ever make with this little Plexus company. Have you heard this story, Dawn? Did you know this happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard him tell the story. We had lunch or breakfast one time, and he told
me. Yeah. He did. He told you that. So basically, he was very, very skeptical and kind of thought it was a joke. And I mean, we had both had amazing success with the product. I mean, he believed in the product. He had no doubt in his mind that, Slim helped us lose weight. Slim helped us have energy. ProBio kept us sleeping good. X Factor made us healthy. He had no doubt. He believed that with all of his heart, but he just thought, he's a traditional businessman. And so is my father. And he thought, MLMs, no way. This is not how we roll. Long story short, I went Emerald, and he still was kind of like, okay, what else? This is whatever. He went with me to Maui that first year, and it was a very small group, and he got some really good one-on-one FaceTime with Alec Clark, who's our chief marketing officer, and with Charles Robinson, who is our CEO. And they both are also the owners of the company. And he walked away from Maui with belief. He walked away from Maui going, these guys are businessmen. They get it. He looked at the comp plan then, and he saw how genius it was. And he's never, ever doubted me ever since then. He doesn't take the product. He takes them. Oh, I missed that. So, yeah, you got to get him to take the product, obviously. It's hard to have belief in anything, if you're not a product of the product. I mean, obviously he loves you, right, because he's your husband. So maybe you can just let him know it's important to you that he take it. Hey, man, get behind what I'm doing. This is something I'm passionate about. If you love me, be consistent with this. It's important to me for you to be consistent with this. And you know what? I think that I have found that the people who get their husbands on board with the product and with the business, that they find that belief, because, you can't deny it. I mean, Andrew, he had plantar fasciitis. He had restless leg syndrome. He's lost 20 pounds. He's got better energy. I mean, he's a 2 pink drink kind of guy now. I mean, this dude is talking product like it's the cutest thing ever. Like when he talks about product, like it literally, like I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so hot when you talk product to people. I love it. So, I mean, it can happen. The first few months he was not on board even with the product, and then when he started seeing my results, he jumped on board because he saw. I mean, he tells people all the time, if we did not make a penny off of Plexus, just the fact that he got his wife back, energy level wise, joy wise, happiness wise, fit wise, I'm healthier. But he would buy Plexus for the rest of his life for me, just for me to have my testimony. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's a skeptical spouse call that Andrew's actually going to be doing, I think this month. I need to find out when that is, and I'll start sharing about it on our team page. But Cody Hawkins, who's Jen's husband, and I'm not sure who else does those. Oh, stink. I can't remember right now. But there's a couple of husbands that are also leaders. And happy wife, happy life. That's true. They lead a skeptical spouse call, and they're all in the company now as well. Andrew is not an ambassador, but he's very, very much a part of my team in that, obviously he brought Don to my team. He works this business with me. He shares. He's very passionate about the product. But he also owns 2 businesses that are very successful. And his whole thing is, I don't want to join if I'm not going to work it. And I knew he wasn't. I'm like, good. I don't need another 5 points. I don't want you to join my team if you're not going to work it. So he's never joined my team because he knew, he wouldn't have the time to work the business. But he still shares like cray. And it's almost like he's got more credibility because he's not an ambassador. And he's like, yeah, this is what my wife does. The products are awesome. And he sends them my way. So I need to find out more information about the skeptical spouses call and get those over to you, Dawn, for sure. Okay, what was that last question? I missed that too. There's one more, and then I gotta hop
on. A couple here. A message that you send to people you haven't talked in a while.
I do. I've done that in the past when I was first getting started. This really, really is a relationship-based business, and it's really, for me, been about, renewing relationships. Like, instead of sending somebody an inbox message, cold call, let's say, or a warm call if it's somebody that I might just start commenting on their Facebook stuff a lot more so that I start showing up in their newsfeed. And then I might inbox message them, hey, this is what I'm doing. I just want to share with you. You've been on my mind as somebody that I think would be good at this because. So, it might be, hey, Dawn, I know that you guys are successful in traditional business. I know your husband's got a successful roofing business and that you help him with that. Because you're successful with that business, you've been on my mind as somebody that I think would be good at this. I know you're well respected in the community, and I know you have a huge sphere of influence because of your integrity. I would love to get together with you and talk to you about what I'm doing. And if you were to come back and go, hey, thanks, I'm really not interested, but thanks for thinking of me, I might come back and go, hey, listen, you're educated and you're smart. Let me tell you, give me 2 minutes on the phone for me to tell you what you're not interested in. I will so respect that. Your friendship means so much more to me than Plexus, but you're super smart. So just give me a minute for me to tell you what you're not interested in. If you're still not interested, no big deal. Hey, let's go to lunch next week. We'll never talk about Plexus again. What I've found with that approach is that when you come at somebody with a positive, they're not going to ever come back at you with a you suck, right? If I say, Dawn, you'd be good at this because you have a huge sphere of influence, you're not going to laugh in my face. You're going to go, oh, thank you. You think that about me? I do have a huge sphere of influence. You're right. I know I'm being cheesy and over the top and animated, but really, truly, man, I respect you. I think you'd be good at this because people respect you for your knowledge of the Bible. People respect you because you're successful at business. You're a good friend. You've got a huge circle because you're a good friend. When you go at somebody with a positive, they're not going to, even if they're not interested, they're not going to come back at you with a negative. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good.
All right, awesome. Do we got one more?
Yep, let me see. There was a question about should you sign up your husband, like when and should you do that? If I guess you kind of touched on that.
That's controversial.
Okay.
Obviously we're not supposed to sign up our spouses till they're gold, till you're gold. Like when I go gold, I could sign up my spouse. People have very different schools of thought. I think it slows down the growth process because you're watering down your points. So, if you're trying to get to Emerald, I think everybody has a different philosophy. Some people think it's fabulous to double dip because you're getting twice as many points. I think it slows down your growth process. I will tell you this. If your spouse is going to work the business, yes, sign him up 100%, no doubt in my mind. For me personally, I mean, y'all just heard me say, I never signed up Andrew because I knew he wasn't going to work the business. And for me, I wanted those points concentrated. So I was trying to get to Diamond. So I wanted to get 5 points for my 1 through 3s. I didn't want it to be watered down a step. Does that make sense? I mean, It's a very controversial subject. You'll get lots of diamonds that might lead a call for you that would say, oh, heck yes, sign up your husband the day you turn gold. And then it's about 50-50 split on whether people think you should or you shouldn't. So to me, what that says is, hey, we're all successful. We're all leaders in this company. So it doesn't necessarily matter either way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My personal preference is if your husband's going to work the business, sign him up. If your husband's not going to work the business, maybe not.
Gotcha. Very good. Good stuff.
Awesome.
All right. Well, you guys, great questions. And
hey, I'm hopping off. I love you guys.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I appreciate you, Dawn. I'm thankful for you and your team.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I'm going to stop recording. Hee hee. Hang on, y'all.